Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Darkpool Algo, and thanks for joining me on another weekend watchlist building session. Today is Sunday, December 5th, 2021, and we're looking for stocks and options that are going to make a greater than expected move this week. So, thanks for joining me. Last week was a crazy week. We had a lot of volatility and a lot of pullback. So, do these fears from last week continue on into this week, or did we just find a major support area for everything? We're going to find that out soon, and we're going to find our top, what do we got, 6 or 7 stocks for this week. So I'll ask in return, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We'll be right back to it after this short intro. I'll see you soon. All right, so that was a double take. Basically, I've got the stream setup, or the watch list building set up a little differently than normal, using a different layout so I can get you guys the most information as possible. So, the top stocks for this week are Mastercard, FSLY, Dash, NTES, Caesars, which is CZR, Pinduoduo, and Datadog. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the smart money, dark pool, and block trade algorithm software from FlowTrade. That's the screen you see in front of you. We're going to go through that. We're going to look at some technical analysis and then finally pull up the options chain. So what I wanted to show you is the screen in front of you is FlowTrade. The white bars are price action. The purple line is a regular algorithm line. Red lines across the screen are regular block trades. Blue lines are dark pool block trades. White lines are fun. No, I'm just kidding. No, white lines are where dark pool and a regular block trade have printed on top of each other. And that means that those are major inflection areas in my opinion. So I usually mark those up on my screen to see how price interacts with them. Yellow is what I use to mark up trends, support, resistance, just important areas, just to show flow. About halfway through this, you're going to see that I switch this layup a little bit. And when I get to that point, I will show you what it is and why I did it. So first of all, let's get into Mastercard. So Mastercard algorithm, wedge breakout last week, pretty bullish, right? Another little wedge that it's forming right now, uptrending wedge. I'd be really interested to see what happens if the algo reaches this previous high. If it makes a higher high, then I think that it can continue to pull price action up out of this block zone that it's been in, right? We've got regular block trades mixed in with dark pool levels, uptrending trend line, and basically a triple top, little W pattern there. So we try to get over that, look to fill this gap here from about 340 to 332 to 340. Dark pool levels are 314.92 and 306.28. Regular block trades, this is for the last 9 days. Regular block trade resistance at 323.01, support coming in at 320. As far as technicals go, we are moving up out of a bunch of support areas, weekly, daily, 4-hour Cutler channel bottoms up to a 4-hour top at 326 to 330. That would be first target. ATR of about $15 a day. I think that Mastercard has room to move if it can take out this previous high at 331. Looking at it on the 4-hour chart, nice little bottom here. All right, nice little bottom coming to last week. Does this form an inverse head and shoulders, which means that we would rally to here and then pull back, and then probably next week see if we get the continuation move to the upside or the downside. If you've not seen an inverse head and shoulders before, let me show you what that looks like, and let's see if I can do it quickly. Basically, this would be the left shoulder here, right? This is the head. This is the head, and then we could potentially form a right shoulder into this week, right? Make sense? So price action would pop, drop, and roll, or pop, drop, and rock. I don't know. So just keep that in mind. That was the 4-hour chart, bringing it out to the daily as far as this chart layout. We got ready and fire signal getting ready to fire off. Squeeze Pro getting ready to do a slingshot, which means that this histogram would start becoming light gray and decreasing. And when that happens, we get this slingshot effect where it jacks price to the upside, right? Currently trading at about -2 ATR, looking for the rally to the mean, which would be about 340. I don't know if we're going to take out new highs, but we definitely want to rally up to the 50-day and the 21 EMA. So that's 340 to 348. Looking at it on the daily chart for volume profile. So 8, 21, 34. We are negatively stacked moving averages. Like I said, that slingshot squeeze is getting ready to release. We're currently at point of control for the highest volume, and VWAP's coming in at 332. As far as algo flow is concerned, it's got bearish algo flow, bringing it down to the 30-minute, right, which is more like a daily. Kind of flat, in my opinion. Just kind of flat. All right, as far as like a daily setup goes, we've got an ATR up to about, I should have just put that there. It's gonna bother me. I don't have a cursor, which I should have done. There we go. That makes things a little easier. 335. All right, that would be a rally above the 20 or the 34. A little slingshot squeeze getting ready to release here. 34. Then the 50 comes in at 328, and then finally testing the 200-day at 340. We've got a 2-day, 3-day, 4-day monthly squeeze. Really, those are going to pretty neutral, right? What we're looking for is this light blue histogram and either red, yellow, or black on the upper bars. So 30 and 60-minute squeeze should fire off to the upside, and we've got green 10x bars on the 1, 2, 3, 4 minute, which should provide momentum. Ready and fire. It's giving us a fire signal. Like I said, I'm pretty strong on Mastercard going into this week. As far as the options chain is concerned, what do we say? 328? So 325, 328, 342. Let's look at the flow for that. The 330s have pretty decent flow coming into this week. Monthly expirations are obviously going to have better or more flow. Those 325s got lots of open interest, lots of volume. I like the possibly the 325, 330 vertical for about $2. I'm going to capture 80% of that. Or if you wanted to go with the straight call, there's a lotto at 340, right? Lots of open interest there. Looking at the downside, we definitely have only this is a little concerning. The 300, 280. It's got a lot of put open interest into next week. This week looks like it should be pretty neutral. So, yeah, Mastercard. Like I said, giving you guys some pretty specific levels. I'm not going to give you straight up buy this, sell this. I mean, if you wanted to, above 323, we hit 328. Above 320, above 330, 335 is easy, and then 340 may be attainable, right? 340 puts us right at the mean, right? So I think that's a pretty decent price target for Mastercard. All right, moving on. Next up, we have FSLY. So I was stuck between FSLY and FSLR. They both came up this week. Liking this one a little bit. This is where I switched up the chart layout. And I don't know if you can see it, but I decided to start printing the regular and the dark pool blocks with the red and the blue at the day and time that they printed, so that you can see what actually happened with price action at those levels, right? Versus, oh, it's just support, or oh, this, we've got this zone here that doesn't really count, because this level, right, this regular block trade didn't even print at this level, right? It printed on the 3rd, right, at the open. So it started here. So we got a massive regular block trade right at the open, and price just sold off. So was this profit taking, right, where it created a lack of demand, right? And then so on the 2nd, right, you can see that we had a regular block coming in at the bell, right, for 35.29. Came in at the bell. We got a nice little rally that day, all the way up to gap up overnight, and then at the bell the next day, we had a 38.69 block come in, and price immediately fell down, hit support, and just consolidated for the rest of the day. We had a block come in at the end of the day for 35.92 there. So you see what I'm saying? So the 29th, the 2nd, the 3rd, right? As far as the algorithm is concerned, it is uptrending channel, And price action has got some overhead resistance. Targets, I like the previous, revisit this previous high at 38.69. Well, what did it hit? Tried to hit 40. 40.41 for this week on FSLY. FSLY. I wish I could just magically have everything up and ready so I didn't have to type in anything. You know what I mean? But unfortunately I do. You know what, if I do this, this will save me a step. Yeah, we're going to do that. Alright, FSLY algorithm, kind of bullish. Looking for the algo to interact with this uptrending support and continue to pull price up with it. As far as the 15-minute chart goes, rally, pullback, consolidation. Currently sitting at the weekly 4-hour Keltner channel bottoms, or weekly mid, 4-hour bottom. Or no, sorry, weekly bottom, 4-hour bottom. Is that the daily mid? Nope, below the daily bottom. So we got a $3.80 ATR. So currently trading at 35. Rally to the 4-hour mid, daily bottom at 38.39. That seems to be pretty decent. I think we could hit that. 4-hour chart, looking to see if this is another inverse head and shoulders here, or if it's just a double bottom. We got to get above the 821.34, so that $38.40 level, which would be previous high, right, from earlier in the week. If we target that level, that seems pretty decent. Above that, I think we've got pretty good zone from 42 to 44, and then from 44 to 49 would be the ultimate move on FSLY this week. Nice rally to the 200 SMA, rejected that 3 ATR, pulled back to the mean, fell off from the mean, currently trading at -2 ATR. Do we have a nice solid bottom here? Possibly. Slingshot squeeze getting ready to release. Not really a daily squeeze happening though, so the histogram curling over, ready and fire, giving us mixed signals here. We have point of control at 40, right? We're looking to target that $44, $45 range. So rally to the 50 SMA and 21 EMA, right? Rally to the mean, right? I think that that's pretty reasonable for FSLY this week. Contrarian, if we break, we break Friday's lows and continue to sell off, we've got quite a ways to go down to the downside. So is this a double bottom, head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulders, right? Keep an eye on it. Point of control coming in at 43, VWAP at 45, and the 200 S, like I said, the 50 SMA right at that $45 level. Let me get back over here. Get back over here. So we're looking to rally to this, and at that point we decide if we're going to short that rally for a further move to the downside based on how the overall market does, or if we see a continuation on up into the 200 at 52. FSLI options, bringing it down, looking at it more on a larger term time frame, right? Very bearish as far as algo flow is concerned. Oh, forgot if you do that. Price action, consolidating. So do we move to the upside or the downside? Looks like this is I don't want to call this an inside bar because I don't know the strat that well, but this is a pretty decent mother bar. Well, not even a mother bar. All right, moving on. FSLY on, as far as squeezes are concerned, pretty red histograms across the board. So this leads me to think we're a little bit more bearish than it seems. However, we held VWAP. We've got a green 10x bar in the monthly, right? Let me get rid of... Oh, I should have removed all these drawings. See, we're normally trading way up here, right? We're supposed to be trading at this mean, 45. Gonna keep an eye on it. Like I said, we got previous support levels at 35.25. Should be interesting. Like I said, don't just jump into it because, you know, the options are cheap or whatever. Looking at this week's 36s, we've got a lot of open interest. The 40s are more of a lotto, so those 40s at 61 cents, pretty lotto play. Moving out into next week, looking at those 40s, right? Lots of open interest on those 40s. So December 17th, 40s look good to the upside. As far as downside ones go, let's see. Why am I not getting... See, that doesn't make sense. Why aren't they... Is that the bottom? Is 20 the open? Huh. So the 30 puts for the 17th have got a lot of open interest. The 40 calls, the 45s have got the most. So there's your lotto. December 17th 45s on FSLY. Let's see, 45 would put us back up here. It's possible. So I like the 40s. We got a high compression 15, 20, 30-minute squeeze. That 20-minute squeeze should fire to the upside. Do we get a continuation rally? We will see. All right, moving on. Next one that we're looking at is Dash. So Dash has been coming up quite a bit lately, and I don't know if it's just not made the move or if it's just been consolidating. So we will look at it. All right. DoorDash. That's what we want. We don't want Neptune. All right. DoorDash algorithm. So price action, downtrending. Looks like we may have found a little support. We're making higher highs and higher lows. A little wedge forming here. The algorithm, all right, rally, right, net buying in a channel, right. Going into Friday, we had a little rally, hit the top of the channel, right, broke above previous highs, pulled back and found support there. So does the algo continue to pull up, breaking price action out of this wedge, taking out previous lows, targeting this regular block trade zone or dark pool zone that runs from 178.77 to 187.92, a little $9 zone with a regular block smack dab in the middle of it at 183. Looks pretty bullish. Looks pretty bullish. Oh, what did I do? There we go. We are bouncing off of the weekly Keltner channel bottom cloud, trying to get back up into the 4-hour. If we reject this 4-hour, we have more of a downside move coming. Kind of like what happened here where we rejected the 4-hour mid and sold off. Tried to get through the 4-hour, couldn't do it. Tried to get through the 4-hour, couldn't do it. As this is compressing, tried to get through it, couldn't hold, ran out of juice, right? Market conditions had everything pulling back on Friday. However, this is starting to look more bullish. We are making a series of higher lows and higher highs on the 15-minute chart. Consolidation. So I like the move to the daily bottom at 170, possibly 178, right? Previous highs. So targeting this, basically this zone here. Let me show you what that looks like. Come on. I want to target that zone there. That would be a pretty bullish move. Look for a rally up to 166, pull back to about 163, and then that continuation grinding move up to 177, 175. Contrarian, right? We do reject this 4-hour top and pull back to the weekly bottom at 152, right? So there's a move from 160 down to 152. We break 162, and then we come back down into 140, 142 land. This is a MACD crossover that we're looking to capture. As far as dash on the 4-hour goes, I mean, it's stair-stepping its way down. Don't get me wrong, it's bullish trend, or bearish trend. We're looking to take out previous highs, establish a new trend to the upside, right? So above 160, 170, 175, 180. So basically $5 increments on the way back up. Maybe a little early on our ready and fires starting to curl around. MACD, or the histogram for the Squeeze Pros, starting to curl around. We're trading at -2 ATR. We have, just make sure I have the right amount of days there. We have point of control at 200. We've got the 50-day at 200. We've got the mean at 200. We got to get above the 200 SMA coming in at 170, 173.50. So that's going to be the turning point. Above 173.50, 180, 190, all the way up to 200. It's a pretty vicious down cycle, though. We broke the 200. So like I said, I'm not going to be interested until we get back above the 200. If you want to try to get the rally to the 200, right? Previous lows at 170, 175. There's a move there, right? Do we get the pop to here and then a continuation down? Very possible. However, bullish algo flow coming in on the 30-minute. Look at that, pretty significant bullish algo flow coming into the close on Friday, right? We are at support 180, 194, 220, 239. Those are some big numbers for Dash, right? Considering we have, how did this thing get so jacked up? There we go. Considering we have, like, we're in pretty much in a squeeze from the 1 minute to the 30-minute, and then 3-day and 4-day. However, they're all bearish squeezes, meaning that they have a potential to fire to the downside. This is a pretty significant move. Let me just do something here real quick. Come on. We want a clear drawing set. Yes. All right. It's a little easier to see now. All right. Green 10 expires from the 1 to the 10-minute. That should, if those start firing, that's that momentum that we're going to need to get us back up through some of this pretty significant overhead resistance. We've got to fight our way back through 8, 21, 34, 50, 200 on the 2-hour chart. So that $200 psychological level should be your price target. Look to take profit at 186. If we reject, it should be at 175. Excuse me, 170 or 175. Yeah, I like it. That's a pretty gnarly zone right there. Basically, this bar, I don't know if you can see it. We've got a bar right here that starts at 195, 175, a $20 bar. This one right here, that's your support resistance zone right there. There's a I don't even know if it's a demand zone. It's just more of a, what did I do? All right, as far as options go, coming into this week's options, we've got pretty flat open interest across the board. There's a 190 lotto for coming in at about 58 cents. We've got I think next week's, or the monthlies, are probably going to be our best bet. 175s, sorry, 190s look pretty decent. Could very easily do, sorry, I'm just looking at volume and open interest here. Those 190s seem to be the point. So do we do a 165, 190, 215 fly? Looking for 190 pin, or 190, 200 vertical for about 50 cents, right? There's a nice little play for that one. It gives you some time. Market makers are expecting about an $8 move, but they're pricing in $15, 160, 175. So that's Dash. Lots of things have to happen for me to get into Dash. Like I said, we have to break previous highs. The algo has to break out of this wedge. Okay, Dash. Next one is, what do we got here? Ntes. NetEase. NetEase. All right, NetEase. This is another one where I separated the blocks so that you can see when and where they printed. Algo is rising wedge. Look a little W, like little mini Wu-Tang reversal on the algorithm. Looking to see what happens if it can take out and break out, take out and break out. I'm wrapping today. This wedge. Is this an H-shaped recovery, which in my opinion has been bearish before? Right, whenever you get that little H shape, we like to see more of a W, right? So we had a dark pool level print at 105 cents at the bell, or at the closing bell on Friday. So that's this level here. Before that, on the 30th, which would be last Monday, we had a 107.73 at the bell, closing bell. So the last time they printed dark pools at the closing bell, we gapped up the next day and can just slowly sold off from there. Market conditions really affect this stock. Okay, a little rally reverse, right? 100 is the psychological level. Does this dark pool block trade coming in at the close cause price to gap up again? If so, we would have to play the initial rally and just keep tight stop losses. That's the mantra for this week, is keep your stop losses tight. Okay, I'm currently resting at the daily Keltner channel bottom. MACD histogram is neutral but increasing. $5 ATR. We're looking to get rally to about 102, which would be the 4-hour bottom. If we can get into the 4-hour cloud and out and back test, right? We look for a move to the daily mid, 4-hour mid at 109, 110. Let's see, let me just show you what that looks like. I'd like to see this kind of move here. Ultimately, that's the move, right? That's the bullish move. Do we get that? Possibly. Well, the bearish move, right, would be something along this line. Right? Something along those lines. So there's NetEase two ways for you. $5 ATR. Okay, look at this massive drop. They didn't have earnings. They did have a dividend on the 30th. They rallied up off that dividend. I'm just showing you as far as I'm trying to show a larger term picture, right? Rally, consolidate, rally, fade, consolidate, rally, chop, 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 chop. Oh, fear and panic, pull back, rally, fade, right? Dead cat bounce. Do we get a continuation move, right? A little quick pop and then larger move to the downside? Very possible. Or do we get, a stair-stepping rally up to the top? Just keep these levels in mind. I don't know if the Ichimoku or Heiken Ashi gives you a little bit better view of this. Right, this could be forming a giant bear flag, to the downside. Support. All right, we've got. I wish I could easily draw zones with this, but I can't. I mean, pretty much dead on demand zone, right? Pretty big. You know, we broke out of that demand, consolidating demand zone before. We rallied, we pulled back, support, dipped in and got some more shares, started selling them to our friends, right? Ran out, had to come back down and grab some more. Does that make sense? I just gave you the stock market secret. Possible little inverse head and shoulders here. I like it. Had a dividend. Obviously, dividend day brings things down. So this is interesting on the daily. If we get this 50, 200 crossover, that's bullish. Looking for maybe a bounce here. A little move like this in the past on the ready and fire. Squeeze. We don't get me wrong. We definitely have an opportunity to come back down and visit 94. 85, 90, 94. Looking for quick recovery though. All right. I know this looks like spaghetti because it kind of is. I've got a lot going on here. I've got the Ichimoku cloud. I've got exponential moving averages. I've got simple moving averages. I've got VWAP. I'm in this little zone from 99 to 106. We're at a volume shelf, right? We broke the 200, but we've got the 50 rising. So does the momentum move to the upside? And the next volume shelf is from 110 to 115 up here. Or do we chop in this volume shelf from 100 to 105? Okay. Point of control is down here at 95. VWAP is at 105. So 99 seems to be right midpoint. I'm looking for this daily cloud to hold. This daily Ichimoku cloud here, I want this level to hold. How do I change that? Anybody know how to change the color in that? There we go. I want to go with a different color. Let's go with a nice blue. So we're looking for that Ichimoku cloud to hold right at that volume shelf if we move down to 95. Okay. Ntes on the algo flow or the options flow. Just kind of red. We are at support 99.05. Next move up is 106.50, 109.50, 112, 115. NTES, NetEase on our squeezes. What do we got here? Monthly squeeze, really interesting. Other than that, pretty choppy. I don't like this red 10x bars on the lower time frame. Upper time frames seem pretty decent. This is a pretty first red bar. Is it because of the dividend day? Could be, right? Do we bounce off of our center line and do we get a slingshot squeeze to release? So what I'm looking to see here is quick pop to 103 decision making. Above 103, right? We test 105 decision making. 105 to 110. Is it a sell the rally, right? Do we sell the move to 110 for the longer move to the downside? We could very easily. So just like I said, NTES, the algo looks decent, right? But the market conditions may affect it more than anything else. All right. Sorry I'm taking a little longer with these, but I'm really trying to get thorough. Oh, I forgot to give you guys options prices. Let's see. NTES. Not a lot of bullish flow up until monthlies. Monthly 105s look pretty decent. I'd be tempted to do 100, 105, 110 butterfly. Looking to pin at 105 by next week or by the 17th. I think that's a pretty decent move. We have lots of put open interest though. 85, 75, 80, 85 puts. 100 put looks pretty decent as well. So if you are bearish on this, we may get some pullbacks this week for potential rally into next week, or we get a quick little pop and then we short that rally. All right, looking to take the 100. This looks like a fly. It looks like there's a bunch of flies here. 85, 80, 75, or the 100, 85, 70s, right? That 100 is a very, very, very significant psychological level. Things start cracking psychological levels and they get larger moves. Okay, just keep that in mind. Caesars is the next one. I tried to also get a variety of stocks, not just all from one sector, because there's going to be rotation, and we just got to try to figure out where that rotation is going to occur to. Does it move to small caps and COVID recovery stocks, or do we stay with the large cap tech stocks? Took a beating last week. All right, algorithm. Is this a Wu-Tang reversal? Right, we have a little mini one here that we can fire off. That sets up for a larger one. 1, 2, 3 reversal. Right, little mini 1, 2, 3 reversal. It'd be a 1, 2, 3 reversal actually. The algorithm. Rising wedge, more of a channel. Interesting that previous high we rallied through, back tested it. Do we continue on? Bringing price action up with it, or are we setting up for an inverse head and shoulders with a mini Wu-Tang? Like, I think this is pretty bullish. Candlestick patterns, right? We have a 1, 2, 3 reversal. We have a 1, 2, 3 reversal possibly. We have a 1, 2. We have a 1, 2, 3 reversal. Like, I'm seeing some inverse head and shoulders all over the place. Now, what's interesting is compared to the last stock where I did the opening, closing, where the blocks fired off, right, where they came in, versus this, like, oh, this looks like very structured support resistance, right? We have dark pull level at 83, dark pulls at 90, regular block trades at 86, 88.50, and 93.50. Okay. As far as this is a very cyclical stock, right? Rally, pullback, rally, pullback, rally, pullback, 1, 2, 3 reversal. If you don't know what the Wu-Tang reversal is, this is it. We are looking for, I would play this every day if I could, right? We break that level, we get a larger than expected move up, right? That Wu-Tang, we have a larger one here, right? If we use our imagination. Right, that Wu-Tang pattern reversal. We got a mini one setting up here. We were also at weekly Keltner channel support, fired off the 4-hour bottom, ran into the daily cloud. Right, if we can get into this daily cloud, so the move from 87 to 88 or 89, breaking 89, or excuse me, if we break 90, we come up and test 93. 95. We reject here. We come back down and test 85, and then 83. Below 83, we've got final support at 81.37. If that breaks, then we can anticipate something along the lines of this trend line here. Pretty close, right? Move down to 79.78. Okay, $5 ATR. Downtrending, just slowly melting down on the 4-hour. Do we find it another potential inverse head and shoulders? Earlier I showed you what these look like. Oh wow. Do you see what I'm saying there? Inverse head and shoulders. I don't think I have the tool for that, but it would be a rally, pullback, rally or rally pullback fade, or just a nice fade. Negatively stacked moving averages, we're right at 87.73. Looks like the decision point. 87.73 break. We come up and test 94.96. So radiant fires getting ready to fire off to the upside. We got a slingshot reversal candle here getting ready to happen. No real squeezes that are going to help us out. We are trading below the 200, below the 50. So rally to the mean at 97 for a longer move to the downside, or do we get above the 200 and continue to move to the upside? Those are the questions we have to ask ourselves, right? We're heavy right now. We are heavy coming into support, right? Demand zone. Demand zone. Come on. Little demand zone there, right? Last time we hit this, we were below it. We got above it. We rallied up. We have point of control at 93, VWAP at 96, the 200 SMA at 99, right? But we are bearish. Looking to rally to VWAP. We're at the bottom of a volume shelf. We want to be back up here in the middle, right? This is our safe place. Our safe place. How do I reset the chart here on this sucker? I guess that works. So, all right, CZR bullish options algorithm flow. Right, support resistance levels. What happened there? I thought I had some more space. So going into next week, Algo. We've got bullish Algo flow. Oh, what did I do here? Let me get rid of all this. Come on. Makes things a little easier to see. Currently trading at -2 ATR, looking to move back to 97, right? The 97 area. 15-20 minute squeeze should fire to the long side. Like, we keep rejecting the 21 EMA on the downside. So we break the 21, we test the 34, and then test the 40 at 93. We've got, green 10x bars from 1 to 10 minutes, yellow from 15 to 60, and then red from 2 to 4. So what we'd like to see is that little firecracker effect where these lower time frames fire off, right, to the upside, fire, which makes these turn green and these turn yellow. We like that little slingshot effect. Okay. Options flow. This week, really weak options flow. The 91 call, it's got some pretty decent flow. That spread's whack though. Yeah, these liquidity is pretty whack on these. You could drive a truck through most of these spreads on the call side. As far as the put side's concerned, it gets a little bit better, except for there's no volume. Moving to the monthlies. Monthly 95s look decent. They're about a 25-cent spread. That's pretty decent. Pretty good open interest, pretty good open volume. So 95, 100 vertical seems to be the play that everybody's making, right? Get that for about $1. 1 to 10 risk reward, pretty decent. On the put side, looking at the 85 80s, right? Get those for about $1.50. So CZRs, I like CZR. I like the 95 100 vertical on CZRs, December 17th expiration. Okay, got 2 more and then we're done. I know this video took a little bit longer. I'm gonna go ahead and put in some markers so that you can just skip around if you want. If you don't want to see the whole thing, if you just want to skip around, you can. Pinduoduo. So I've been trying to include an ADR in every in every weekend watch list, right? Just because I think there's going to be a lot of news coming out of China. It's really going to affect the market. It's going to rock the bellyo. All right, so again, I switched this up. I think I like this format better because it really shows that none of this really matters. It's what's happening over here, and it shows, hey, this fired here. What did price action do? What did price action do when it fired? Okay, Pinduoduo. Algorithm broke previous resistance, right? So it's made a new high. It's stair-stepping its way up in a channel. We have a downward resistant trend line for price action, and we are, we're in a wedge. Okay. Block trade levels. So we have some white lines where we have a regular and a dark pool level that are printed on top of each other. Those are at 66.50, right? So 11.30, 66.50, and then 12.1, 66.50. So we had a dark pool print at the end of the day on the 30th, right? We sold off. We had a dark pool. Well, we had a quick gap up. We had a regular block trade come in at 68.42 at the bell. And after that, we just continued to sell off. The next one, the next morning, or that same day at noon, we had a regular block come in at 63.30. And then at the close, we had a dark pool come in at 68 or 62.11. So on the second, we open, gap down, regular block trade at 60, right? We fade all day. At the end of the day, we had a regular block trade coming in at 59. So what do we do the next morning? So these are sell orders, right? Sell, sell, sell. Sell, sell, sell. We open up, gapped down. At the bell, we have a regular block coming in at 55.17, right? That pulled us up, and we consolidated there all day. And then going into the close on Friday, we had a regular block or dark pull level come in at 54.44. And based on the history, when we have dark pool levels come in at the close with the stock, we seem to gap down. So keep that in mind looking at the charts. Pinduoduo is in massive level of support right now. This monthly cloud is huge support. Stocks don't like to be in the monthlies. They like to hang out in the dailies and the 4 hours. However, we are in the monthly downtrend. Okay. Is this a reversal bottom? Possibly. We could get a quick rally to 58, 59. What happens here is important. If we reject it, we can see a continued move all the way back down, right? Just stair stepping down. If we can break through, right, break out of the monthly bottom into the 4 hour bottom and use the $60 level as support, then we can start looking at a bullish position to the upside. We have massive overhead resistance. This is all resistance, right? We would fight to get to 63. We would fight from 63 to 68. Then at 68, probably run out of gas, to be honest with you, and maybe pull back. So the 4 hours are flattening out, the daily's flattening out, the weekly's flattening out. We've got a rough move ahead of us. All right, Pinduoduo to the downside. Let's see if I can show. What was I thinking here on this one? Do I got to come out to the weekly? I think I do. So, I've talked about head and shoulders before. What happened? We have a left shoulder, head, right shoulder. I guess I could have done a little bit better job of making these specific levels so that you can see what happens. And just clean this up a little bit here. Come on. Let's see. Come on. All right. I think that's a better view. Okay. So when I say that head and shoulders are very powerful, they are. So we broke the neckline. We short the neckline. Okay. We've got another level of, we've got a zone, massive demand zone from 30 to 45, right? It's pretty big. pretty big demand zone that we're heading into. Right. So to the downside, I think that we've got room 50, 40, 30 before we start looking at maybe a move to the upside. Pinduoduo is very bearishly. They had earnings. What did they do on earnings? They beat on earnings and they missed on revenue, right? So I don't like the curving 200. If the 200 was rising, I'd be a little bit more bullish. But this is curving to the downside. The 50 is curving to the downside. We're trading at -3 ATR, so we want to sell the rally. So we want to rally this week from 54 up to about, say, 75, 80, and then we're going to put in some sell orders there and play the fade. That's what this looks like. I've got a 127. I've got a fib level at 36.20 or 37.26, which is the bottom of that previous demand zone that I'd been talking about. All right, it's a pretty big demand zone that runs from 35 to 50 to 50. I mean, it's big. I could probably be a little bit more specific. Like, I could probably try to get a little more finite on it. But that fib level, that 127, it's a pretty decent target. Pretty decent target. I don't know if we rally back. I just, it's super heavy. This is, I mean, this is about as classic bearish as you can get. All right. This was that rally back up. All right. Pinduoduo options, bullish or bearish. Like I said, short rally to larger pullback. Do we get a quick pop this week, right? For a larger move to the downside, that's what it's looking like. Just a second, come on. Okay. Pinduoduo, red across the board. Trading way out, we're trading at 4.5 ATR, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ATR. I think we're due for a quick pop for a larger move to the downside. So 65.70, I feel safe. Looking at a move from 65, 70, 75. Yeah, but this stock's dead. As far as options flow goes for this week, we've got lots of bullish options flow. 55 calls, 60 calls, 55, 60 vertical. That doesn't really make sense. You'd end up paying about $2 for it. That 50 puts got a bunch of open interest at it. 120% volatility, and market makers are factored in a $2.50 move. More like a $7 move is what they're saying. So going out into the monthly expirations, the volatility is a little, implied volatility is a little lower. $10 move. All right, let's look at the options. We've got a ton of open interest on the put side, a ton of open interest on the call side. So let's see what they're trying to do here. 80, 85, 70, 80, 85. No, that doesn't make sense. 75, 85 vertical. Lottos at 15 cents. I mean, hopefully you see what I'm saying here, right? This is all lotto plays. If you wanted to play the lotto on Pinduoduo going into monthly expiration, I would say the 65.70 vertical, you get it for about 50 cents, and you could sell it for $5. So that's 1 to 10. I mean, I wouldn't even mess with, like, look at the delta on these. The delta on the 65s is 16. So even if you bought 100 of these, the stock would have to move $30 for you to make your money. So delta is an important thing when we're looking at these. Lotto play would be the 60. Sorry, Lotto would be the 70, 65, 70. Or potentially the 70, 75 for 15 cents. 15 cents to $10 or $5. So 15 to 500. Think we get a short pop. Okay, last one for the day is Datadog. Thanks for sticking with me on this long. I know it's taken quite a bit. Let me know in the comments section below if you like this format better, where I actually go into the algo, look at a couple charts, and then look at the options chain and come up with some plays for the week. If you like this format better, I will implement it, and I will attempt, I'll start looking at maybe just finding one additional chart to look at instead of like 4. I feel like I try to give everybody as much information as they could possibly need. Datadog. All right, so everything was selling off last week. Datadog rallied into Friday, right? Initial fade, found support, rallied. The algorithm, right? Rising channel. Look at this previous low right here in green at 172. This is a perfect bear flag. You see? Selling off, right? When that fired, we fired to the downside. What I didn't mark up here is, are we setting up for another inverse head and shoulders? So look for a quick rally, pullback, rally, right? So it'd be a rally, pullback, rally. We have regular blocks at 162 and 163. That's our support. Those came in on the 1st. So those came in at the close. Those came in here. So those regular blocks came in at this level here. Price rallied off of it, right? Currently filling the rest of the orders. We have a regular block trade at 183.77, and that came in on the 29th. So that came in here, right? Came in at the open. So we get a quick pop pullback. Right about here is when those orders came in, right? We got an initial rally off of those buy orders, and then, or they could have been sell orders for a larger move to the downside. That was a big order down to support. Right, at the close, rally, consolidation, sell off. Look for an inverse head and shoulders on Datadog. We're in a pretty decent level of support. We had MACD crossover, $12.50 ATR. We rallied up into the 4-hour Keltner channel bottom. Look for support there for a move up into the daily bottom, so above 167. For a move to 170, pull back for support. 170, 173. Right, above 173, I moved 182. So $12 ATR, looking to take about a $20 move. We might be able to hit that by the end of the week if everything goes well. So, and again, with the inverse head and shoulders business, right? I don't know why I keep harping on this, but I feel like there's a lot of these setting up. For that to happen, we would need this rally to continue, right? And then we come back down here and we do one of these moves. Very possibly for that to happen. Okay. All right, moving to the next. Oh, what did I do? Datadog on the. Oh, that's the weekly. Let's look at the daily. Pretty significant rally. Pulling back to support. We have. Just trying to find the zone. That's the zone there. It's a pretty big zone. 123 to 150. So you can't see it, but there's a half deviation line. Here, let me just draw it. There's a 1/2 deviation line that runs pretty much right there. Every time we've hit that line, rally, hit it, consolidate on it, rally, hit it, rally, pull back, pull back. Every time we've hit this purple line, we've either consolidated at it and slowly grinded up, or we've got a quick pop, right? It's pretty decent support. Coming in, we've got, what do we got here? So the 50 is above the 200. We're trading at -1 ATR. I can't tell if we close below the 50 or if we're right at the 50. So if that level holds, I think we get a quick move to back up to 185. It's gonna be a pretty big move though. Wasn't this one of these was supposed to be the 4-hour? What happened? I think this is it. So 4-hour. Is that right? 4-hour daily. Oh no, this is all right. So rally, we've got point of control at 193, VWAP at 183. Pull back to the 50. We closed above the 50, thankfully. So this level could support could hold. We may chop for a couple days going into, going into about the 10th. At the 10th, we'll need to make a decision if we continue up. We did touch the 200, or we did touch the daily Ichimoku cloud. Do we get a quick reversal? Possibly. Look for the 50 to hold. If that breaks, and we take out, if the 50 breaks, we've got room down to 150, 156, right? So demand zone runs. Little demand zone right there. As far as options flow goes, we got bearish options flow. Let's look at the larger time frame. So still more bearish options flow. Support resistance. We bounce off support. We're right at support. 170, 178. What do we do when we get back in that cloud? So options algo flow is bearish. No squeezes to help us out. We got a daily. It's not going to help us do anything. 3-day, 4-day, monthly 10x bars could fire off bullishly. So 1, 2 would turn the 3 and the 4 green. The 5 would turn the 10 green, right? And just get that slingshot effect across the board. We are trading at, like I said, we're trading at -3 ATR, right? And at the bottom of our ATR range, good beta, decent Bollinger Band. We held VWAP. Market makers are expecting a $10 move. This yellow is usually an indication of a reversal. I just can't stress enough, little micro inverse head and shoulders forming on the 2-hour as well. So we need to get above 167 for a rally to let's see, above 166 we rally to 170, above 170, 174, 176, 170, 174, 176. All right, Datadog. We have not a lot of open interest. The spreads on these are whack for this week. Next week's options spreads are a little better. So the monthly expirations, not a ton of open interest. There's definitely more put open interest, so the 155, 150 puts, or the 170, 175 calls. You could get into those for about $2, or you could get into these puts for about about $1, about $1. Just not a whole lot of I mean, there's not a lot of interest in Datadog options. Just not across the board. Maybe better to play the stock. Yeah, just not a ton of open interest anywhere. If we go out, I mean, we'd have to go out to January 2044. I mean, yeah, let's see. So the monthly. So January monthlies got a little bit of open interest. The 165, 175, 190. Is that right? No. So they're playing the 175, 190 verticals, or they're playing the 135, 155, 175. And they're playing some longer term flies on these, or some verticals. I personally like 175, 190. No, 185, 190. That's pretty decent. 185, 190 vertical you get for about $2. You could also play the 165, 175. I don't know. Datadog's tough. 170, 175s here look pretty decent. Not really seeing any fly potentials. 175, 170. No. So, Datadog, it's going to be tough. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. I think the options chain might get a little better if we start getting a little bit more flow into it. All right, and then finally, I'm going to go over the SPY, the QQQ, and IWM. So the algorithm is trading with price action on SPY. Look at the massive amount of dark pools that are coming in. We just got a ton of them. Let me just... So again, SPY might even be doing that little inverse head and shoulders, right? There's a level there. There's a level here, and then the next one. As far as the algo is concerned, it's trying to create some bullish divergence. However, it's getting stuck, right? Right, we want to see it get out of this trend, right, out of this channel that it's in. Let me just move this. Let's move this down here. Come on, just give me the last 3 days, please. All right, last 4 days. It's gonna have to work. So 450, 452 cluster, right? 457 target. 453, and then 450, 470. So if the algo can break up and out of these levels, look for it to react or interact with those dark pool levels. We have a regular block trade that came in on the 3rd at the open for 459.19. So at the open right there. Right, so there was a regular block that came in at this level. Massive pullback after that. SPY's looking, like I said, does it pull an inverse head and shoulders? Do we get a quick rally early in the week for a day or so, and then pull back to this 450 level, and then make a decision at that point? Very possibly. All right, QQQ. So the QQQ algo is trading, just trading with it. We have no regular block trades, all dark pool. 389.83. Let's see. Let's do the new format on that. So on the 3rd at the close, we had a block. This block printed around about noon. All right. Does that make sense? Do you guys see what I'm doing here? So this block came in on the 3rd at 1453, which is basically 3 o'clock. So if we open here at 3 o'clock here, so like, isn't it interesting that at like towards the close we had a block print when price action's way down here? Does it yank price action up with it? Very well could. This one's interesting. We had a dark pull at 16 or at 15 or 17:30, which is 5:30, so way after the close. Right, that one came in way after the close. 382.61. This one came in at the close. This one came in after the close. I don't know. This one came in. This one. All right. So this one here, this last one I drew, came in at 15:42, which is 15 minutes before the close, right? This one way up here came in at 14:53, which is, you know, basically it's 2:53. It's 3 o'clock basically. So an hour before the close, this dark pool level hit. I'm gonna have to research this a little bit more. Like, I'm really intrigued on this. Why would they put in an order $6 higher than the current price action 2 hours before the close? Is this a buy order or is it a sell order? I'm gonna dig in on that one. I'm gonna grab dark pool charts and have him help me out with that one. We're gonna look into QQQ. That's very interesting. IWM has the most bullish divergence. Remember, it's got this big middle finger, right? Like, I was all proud of IWM the last couple weeks. I was like, go IWM, go. And you know what it did? This is what it did. It told me, hey, yo. That's what it told me. As far as IWM is concerned, let's see. We've got a bunch of dark pulls that came in. We had a regular come in at the bell. So this is what's going on with it. The algorithm is attempting to take out its previous highs. So if the algo can take out, you know, these previous highs over here, we can take that one out. And this one, the next target would be this one. That should pull price action up with it. The algo is slightly wolfy wave it. Right. If it can get up there, it should be decent. IWM, I hope, I mean, are they going to rotate into small caps? Possibly. So all these dark pulls came in at the close. That one came in at the close. That one came in at the close. This one came in at lunch. This one came in at the close right here. Right? That's so, and ooh, I'm going to deep dive on that. All right, so at the open, we had a regular block trade come in, massive sell-off, right? Just fade, 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 fade. So on our way back up, let's see, what do we got going on? As far as price action is concerned, let's look at our pattern. We've got pretty consistent Is it that one? Falling channel, for sure. I'd be super bullish on IDBM about above 220. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to look at? I think that's it for me. Thanks for joining me. Once again, my name is Darkpool Algo. I am streaming live every morning, Monday through Friday, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. We go through the futures. Oh, let's look at futures. Let's look at futures into the close. Okay, so as far as futures are concerned, come on, hurry up and load. All right, this is a daily on the futes. Crude, sell off, right? Trend reversal candle on the second. A little bit of a rally coming in on the third. We want to get back up, you know, crude back up to, 70, 50. This is our bond purchases. This is that 1, 2, 3 Wu-Tang rally reversal that we like to see. We're currently coming up and testing previous highs. If bonds are up, usually means the ES is down. So see how this has been rallying and this has been fading. This is TLT, right? TLT is a little bit of a snitch. So I would love to see TLT reject 164, right? 164.16 and then pull back. And this is the yen. If the yen is rising, if bonds are rising, if gold is rising, and crude is running, this entire top row will be taking a dump. Okay? Crude is selling off. I'd like to see a break. It's coming into a supply zone right now. Supply zone that runs from 69.50 to 71.50. If it can get above that, crude will continue to rise. Gas prices. Gold rally, pullback, a little pop. I want this to be a head and shoulders on gold. I'd like gold to fail. That means crypto or run. Everything's got an inverse. So if gold is rallying, if people are putting all their money into gold, they're not putting it into crypto, right? They're putting it into crypto. They're not putting it into gold. Okay. As far as the ES is concerned, so this is middle of October rally, November pullback, consolidation, fade. Unfortunately, our real next level of support is here. Like, we may get a fade to 44.75. Excuse me. One second here. What color should I make that? I think it's a decent color. $44.80. The ES, or that was the ES, the NQ. It hit its previous demand zone, like right on the nose. Might get a little bit of a rally on the NQ. Right, it's at a demand zone. The Dow is just having problems. This could be a reversal candle on the Dow, but it's currently running into some supply zone. Right? Some supply zone resistance. If the Dow can take out that level, I think we get a little bit more bullish on it. However, the Dow looks pretty heavy. And then the Russell, the poor little Russell, red-headed Russell. It's currently coming into a previous supply zone. It's got to get above, right, above 223.90. I mean, that's a pretty big move. Actually, it should be more like there. So the supply zone runs from 223.90 to 22.48. So those are the levels. Okay. The worst thing that could happen would be chopping on the ES and the NQ. I'd like to see some specific movements. I don't think that's right. I don't like that NQ level. That doesn't look right. I mean, it's pretty ugly. Either way you look at it, it's pretty ugly. So, my predictions for this week: we chop fade on the ES. All right, chop fade down to. You know what I should throw on here? Oh, what is wrong with me? I've got the master of all blasters. I've got the master of all blasters. Let's do this. Haha. I don't even know why I didn't even think of this before. Why didn't I think of that before? Alright, there's something going on with that. They should be... I wonder why they're not showing up. Alright, I'll get that figured out offline. Those shouldn't show. Alright, I'll get that figured out offline why they're not showing up on the daily. Yeah, ES, nice strong uptrend. Every time it's hit this, 3 deviations, it's rallied back. Right here. Let's hit it once. Twice. I think it comes back down to here again. Ooh, hopefully it's not forming in larger head and shoulders. That could be nasty for us into 2022. Right. ...2022 would be pretty bad year if this actually happens. Remember the pin duo chart? There it goes. Now it shows up. Finally. Snow line. Okay, I gotta run. Thanks for joining me once again. My name is Darkpool Algo. I am here every morning, Monday through Friday, 8:30 Eastern or 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. I like to stream for about an hour and a half. We go over futures, we go over the news, we see what's going to happen in the market, and then I take requests for the algorithm and any other requests. So we don't want this to happen to the ES. I was like, remember pin duo? Yeah, we don't want this to happen to the ES. If it does, bad things happen to good people. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Have a good day. Thanks for joining me. Stay safe, stay green. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, leave comments in the comment section below. You can reach me on Twitter, any social, at DarkpoolAlgo. Thanks.